Video 13. I said I was going to make a video revealing the Zodiac. Well, this is it. I'm going to break down the Zodiac and show you how two systems that look nothing alike can work together in harmony and become one, and establish a measure to which more elements like planets can be added for more extrapolation. But we'll stick with these two fundamentals in this video: Sun and Moon. This is going to merge the West and the East and surprise even the most advanced in the East. So stay tuned in. You have a circle with 360 degrees. You also have two major heavenly bodies, Sun and the Moon. How do these two fit in the logic of this wheel? Here is the Earth. Okay. We're standing on it. We look up. We see the Moon because it's easiest to see. And we see the Sun because it's hard to ignore the Sun. Now we know that the Earth rotates. Okay. The Earth rotates. And the Sun moves from left to right. As the minutes progress, Sun's moving from left to right. The Moon, whether day or night, when we see it, also moves from left to right. Okay. This is east. Oops, made a mistake. East to west. It's moving like that. Left to right, east to west. If we look every night, let's go here again. Okay, if we look every night, we see the Moon, it would be in a certain constellation. Okay, if we choose a certain time that we're going to look every night and dedicate ourselves to that time every night in a progression. It could be any time, 9 p.m. as long as it's at night. 9 p.m., midnight, 10:37 p.m., 3:22 a.m., doesn't matter. If we look every night at the same time, we'll see the Moon in a sign, but we'll see it again the next night shifted from right to left. It's here one night, next night it'll be here, and then next night it'll be here. If we're looking south, it'll move from right to left. The Sun too moves from 1 month in one sign to the next, going left. So we're seeing both of these planets as we're seeing both of these heavenly objects progressing in the sky from right to left. And we're watching, and the rotation of the Earth, this is because, watching the rotation. Meanwhile, we're watching the rotation of the Earth make these planets go from left to right. The next night, it's shifted over. The next night, it's shifted over. Both of these shift over. They keep shifting over. Okay. So how do we find a pattern? Where do we start? Because they're doing it at different speeds, at different consistencies. Or more scientifically, what do these two patterns have in common? Where do their numbers meet up, and where can we merge both these objects in question into one pattern? Well, one must have a reference point to contrast with. The Earth's seasons seem to correspond to 365 days from winter solstice to winter solstice, 365 days. Here is the southern hemisphere. That's when the north gets least light. So this is the winter. And then summer, the north gets more direct light, and that's summer. The Earth's seasons seem to correspond to 365 days from winter solstice to winter solstice. This is just an easy to imagine reference point. It marks Christmas every year. Okay? When the sun reaches its lowest limit before stopping and progressing back towards spring and summer. Jupiter. Okay? Jupiter returns to the same point in the sky every 12 years, or 12 winter solstices. Why Jupiter? Because Jupiter is so massive, it is the only planet that makes the sun wobble past its own body. And here's a video showing that.
Is it true that Jupiter is so big that it doesn't orbit the sun? Yes, Jupiter is the largest planet in our solar system. In fact, Jupiter is so large that the center of gravity of the sun and this planet is slightly outwards from the surface of the sun. This is known as the barycenter. All the other planets in the solar system are so small that the barycenter of the sun and that planet, such as our own Earth, is located inside the sun itself. Thanks for watching.
Okay. So the sun notices Jupiter. The sun always knows where Jupiter is. Okay. There's even a strong magnetic field around Jupiter. One that the Juno spacecraft had to be specifically designed to fight in order for it to work and do its scientific observations of Jupiter. Okay. It is intense around Jupiter. That's why Io, one of its moons, is just lava. It is so active because of the magnetic field and how the gravity of Jupiter just crushes it, stretches it, and makes it heat up. The sun always knows where Jupiter is, and it takes 12 of Earth's rotations for Jupiter to bring the sun back to the start of the barycenter wobble. Okay, so Jupiter and Earth have a synchronicity that affects the sun every 12 years. So we use 12 for the sun and Earth. Now don't forget, the sun's source of light and gravity doesn't move because it is the source of light and most of the gravity. So it needs the measure of Jupiter's rotation to make a comparison. Also notice the key to this relationship is between the sun and Jupiter, there is no 12. It's just one rotation. There's no 12 until the Earth comes into consideration. So from Earth's perspective, Jupiter defines 12 years. As the Earth moves, Jupiter moves 1/12. As the Earth goes around again, Jupiter moves another 12. As Earth moves around again, Jupiter goes another 12 and another 12 and another 12. Okay, but from the sun's perspective, the Earth is bringing the 12 into factor here. Okay, Jupiter is not. The Earth spins 12 times before Jupiter comes back to its rotation, which the sun is more paying attention to. Okay, so from a greater perspective, we are the ones defining the 12 signs, not Jupiter. Now let's bring the moon in. Okay. We have to create a relationship which must contrast with the sun in order to find a relationship where we know the moon's pattern of 27 days to complete an orbit around the Earth. Okay? So we know that it takes, this one, yeah. So we know that it takes 27 days to complete an orbit around the Earth. So 27 completes the circle for the moon, and 12 completes the circle for the Earth in relation to the sun. And in relation to Jupiter's, this is based on Jupiter's benefic of influence upon the sun. It's just a cycle that's chosen. You could use other relationships and planetary orbits to make cycles, but the Vedic system isn't doing this. It's just focusing on Jupiter. In fact, this is why the Vedic system reveres Jupiter so much as the great benefic, because this 12 allows for the chance of harboring and generating life with the time periods needed for challenges and changes, like a heartbeat. If someone can find a pattern using Saturn or Mars, go ahead. Just know that the Babylonian system, Mars was Nergal. Mars was Nergal. And Nergal was considered to be the incalculable one. Just a warning. And of course, the orbit of these two luminaries, the sun and the moon, since they are not stars in our sky, and which are defined, and they define the zodiac, cross at two different points. Okay, where's the moon? Here's the moon. They cross at two different points. Okay, here and here. Okay, this is going south, and this one's coming back up north. Okay, I haven't forgotten about the nodes. Okay, we just have, so now we have two numbers, but I'll get back to them later. So now we have two numbers that can define a circle. Let's use them. Okay. The moon's 27 nights to return to the same spot equate to 360 divided by 27. That comes to 13 1/3 degrees, or 13 and 20 over 60. Okay, that makes 20 degrees over 60 degrees. This makes 13 degrees 20 minutes. If it was 13 2/3, it would be 13 and 40 over 60, or 2/3. But instead, it's just 13 1/3, so it's 13 degrees and 20 minutes. The sun has 12 months. From winter solstice to winter solstice, equate to 360 divided by 12. And that comes to 30. 30 days in a month, with 5 extra days, which makes each just slightly less. There's 5 extra days because there's 365 days, which makes it slightly less than 1 degree a day. About 1/360th of a degree, slightly less than 1 degree a day, to stretch out the time needed for the sun's progression to get back to the winter solstice. The moon needs 27 days to get back to the same sign where the sun was the previous month. So the moon walked 27 days to go around a full 360. The sun walked 12 months. This is only to complete a circle. Catch-up time is in the life of the wheel. The cycle brings life to it. That's called synodic. Anytime you hear the word synodic, right here in Britannica, synodic, it means when the clock hands meet. Okay, only when the clock hands meet. So when the trains meet, when the buses meet, rather than meeting at the signs and stations and the times of the clock. We'll build on the synodic progression later. Just know the difference. After all, no clock in its right wind ever wants its two hands to be caught dead on one number. Everything moves. So, going back to the sun speeds. Okay, I have 1 minute left.